Have any questions about shading? Multiple light sources is a hard thing to tackle. It's not something I've fully mastered yet. But let's give it a shot here. Okay, so for the purposes of this explanation, one shadow is blue and one shadow is purple. There's our blue shadow, and we'll say pink. There's our pink shadow. And where they meet is going to be subtractive mixing because it's shadow, so purple in the middle there. Additive mixing is like the more you like. Subtractive mixing is things get darker as they get put together, and additive mixing things get lighter to be very rough. Additive is light, the way light functions. Subtractive is pigment. So then with our highlights, we're going to have one yellow highlight and one green highlight. So yellow highlight, that needs to be more yellow so you can actually see it. Yellow highlight, this is very rough. Green highlight. Where they meet, they're going to lighten because of additive mixing. Excuse me. Now, this looks like hell and is very, very rough, but hopefully you're getting an idea. I'm afraid I'm not super familiar with multiple light sources. It's something I'm starting to work on. If you want to know more, Hue Value Chroma does a great job of explaining how it works. Anything else about shading? What do you mean by concentrated shading? Oh, yes, okay. You're talking about edge control. So, stop smirking. So basically, with edge control, the softer an object is, the softer its shadow will be. The farther away it is, the softer its shadow will be. The softer of a shape it is, as well as the texture itself, the softer the shadow will be. And vice versa for how hard it's going to be. So, if we say this is a very fluffy ball that's very far away, it doesn't work at all. I hate the blur strong thing, it doesn't do anything. But this is a soft, fluffy ball that's rather far away from us. It's going to have very soft shading on it. On the other hand, if we have a hard edged, it's a terrible box, but whatever. a hard-edged box, which is close to us, the shading lines are going to be very, very, very hard, and you know, the blending will be almost unnoticeable. Also, the darker it is, the softer edges things will have, and the brighter it is, the harder of edges they'll have. Did I cover that for you? Okay, so I'm going to move on to texture then. Now, when I say texture, I mean one of two things. Either I'm talking about hand-painted texture, or I'm talking about applying external textures. I'm going to start with applying external textures. So, say I want to make a room, and I want the room to be made of stone. You know, I could start off by making this very, very plain sort of idea of what a room looks like. You get a very rough concept of that this might be a space. But you can go to pages like ones that I've closed. Oops, that's a dick. Sorry, guys. CG Textures, which is all commercial free, or free for commercial use. So I want brick. I want facade stones. I like this one. And you have to be logged in to use it, but it's free. Tiling is easy enough that you can figure it out. It's just copy and pasting the same thing a bunch of times to make a bigger thing. So I download the texture, open it with Mega Studio, or whatever art program you're using, copy it, and paste it. And we're going to make it the right size. I don't want that edge at the top, so I'm going to make it bigger than that. Line it up. We're going to select, if this works, there we go, select the panel that we want. And clear outside selection, whoops, wrong layer. Clear outside selection. And then you can use whatever layer setting you want. I usually use overlay, sometimes I use multiply. Then we'll do it again for the floor. I'm going to rotate it around. This time first we're going to make it big enough. Get the lines to match up there. Then using control click, mess with the perspective. This works in Photoshop, Psy, and Manga Studio. Control click on the corner. And the transformation. It's getting upset at me. Here we go. Once again, we're going to clear out side selection. Set this one to overlay as well. Merge it down. And one more. Make sure it lines up properly. And this time we're going to grab the outer side with control. Bring it down like that. And up like this. And basically just bending it to fit the shape of the wall. Oops, too far. Set that to overlay as well. Merge it down. So we got our emitter bricks. And you know, you can apply as many different textures and layers as you want to make as complex a background as you want to deal with. Photoshop has better tools if you want to do something to wrap around a round object, but Psy and Manga Studio works just fine for flat and square objects. Okay, so said yes. Okay, now it's freezing. Wait for it to respond. This is interesting. I've never had anything freeze for this long before. I suspect it is probably my computer getting upset over the stream.